A lot of you guys have given us a lot of recommendation on what car to do next, and here we listen to you, and we have a 2001 BP6 Honda Prelude in electron blue. Guys, my name is Mike. Welcome back to AHC Garage, and we have a brand new project here. This project is going to be a little different. Normally our projects are pretty much, don't really have a budget in mind. This one here is going to be budget friendly. So a lot of you guys doing this stuff at home is going to be able to learn a lot of stuff, what we're going to be able to do to get it refreshed and get everything cleaned up. Now, we do have a lot of things to do here. One thing is something wrong with the engine, and that's something we're going to talk about a little bit later. But before we do that, let's go and talk about the exterior, and Brian's going to tell you guys a little bit more about it.
Well, you guys see the motor here, and looks like a lot of work, but that's not what we're here for. Now, I'm actually happy to work on a job like this because it's going to be a budget build, and a budget build is going to be some, you don't want to say corners cut, but things done a little bit differently. Now, we're used to on AHC Garage doing a full out show car style full restoration where everything completely comes off and everything is completely repainted. Now, JC painted this at school. It was one of his first paint jobs on his Prelude, and he did a pretty good job, but now he's been working in the body shop, and there's some room for improvement when he comes to paint this actual vehicle. One thing that he's not really happy with is the color of the car. The color of the car that he got sent over from the paint store, well, it really doesn't match the actual specific color that it came with, so he's looking to get the more of a precise color. Now, if we go around the car, overall on camera it will look pretty good, but you might find little defects as far as waviness or some orange peel, which is kind of consistent with someone doing it for the first time. Remember, this is a big undertaking, and for a do-it-yourselfer, we're here to try to give you some tips that might encourage you to go ahead and do it yourself and be proud of the work that it's been done. So overall, the car has a little bit of what we call dieback. That's when the clear coat loses some of the gloss, and that can be because the clear coat is applied too thick. It can be because the product is not up to the standards of a high quality product. So there's the things that kind of go into it. Plus, this vehicle has been sitting outside. So a wet sand and buff in this particular vehicle will help, but it will remove clear coat, and we're looking to show you guys a budget build. So we're going to take Juan on the project with us later on, get this whole thing nice and sanded down. We're going to be doing things a lot different, taping things up, leaving things on, not pulling the glass, and keeping it budget style. And we're going to see how good we actually can make this Prelude look going down the road once again. Now, as far as the engine bay is concerned, once everything's taken out, we're going to go ahead and give it a nice fresh coat of OEM paint and clear coat. And there's not a lot that really shows, but when you see it, it's going to be really shiny, kind of similar to what you guys saw on my DC5 project. So we're really excited about that to really make it look good from the inside and even underneath the hood.
All right, so now that Brian got done talking about the exterior, let's go ahead and get down to the real work right here on the motor. Basically, backstory behind this is JC had a clutch job done, and after the clutch job, all of a sudden the motor's knocking. I don't know how that happened. It happened literally right after, but who knows? You know, who knows what they did. But now we got a motor that's knocking. It's got a real heavy knock. Bottom end is shot. This thing is pretty much done. The good thing is we were able to find a nice replacement motor. Got it over here. And so it's got a little bit of mileage to it. I wouldn't say it's high mileage, but it's got some miles on it. The problem is it's an automatic transmission. So that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the automatic. We are going to pretty much redo all the seals and refresh this motor, timing belt, all of the balance shaft belt, all the gaskets, just like we did on Brian's RSX. We're going to do it to this before we go and put it back in the car. And we're going to go over it, make sure everything is good. We'll take the manual trans, swap it over, and then get this car back running again. Here we go in the interior. Before we get to the motor out, I'm just kind of looking at this. This is definitely going to be a budget build for sure, especially as you look around. It kind of looks like a budget already. Kind of almost looks like it's a flood damage car, if I haven't mentioned that already. But it seems like all these body shop guys have flood damage cars. You know, Brian has two, JC's here. I mean, you know, almost feel like this is kind of a rebuild title. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of salvage this bad boy, fix it all up, and you know, hopefully JC can keep it out of the flood. we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna drop this motor out of the bottom here, kind of like we did with the other B series and all that stuff. So I think what we need to start with is start by draining the coolant, drain the oil, get all the fluids out, and then we can go ahead and start taking some of the hoses and stuff off and getting some of the accessories off of here, and then should be able to drop it right out. So here's the bottom of the car, and I have to say it's got quite a bit of leaks on it here. You see all this oil on the oil pan. Got some oil over here under the transmission. Got bolts that aren't tightened up. I mean, look at this nice axle here with a great tie down on the boot there. I mean, this thing is, you know, like I said, this thing's pretty rough. Let's go ahead and let's start by draining the oil if there's even any in it.
There's oil in it.
That looks pretty rough. Oh man.
And it's thick, huh?
Yeah.
You know, this fluid should be nice and clean, TJ, because the transmission supposedly got completely rebuilt.
Oh, should be. Let's see.
Yeah, that's pretty clean.
Why don't we look at something here? How about that?
Is that the inner tie rod end?
No, that's either the hub or the axle nut is loose, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably the hub. Nice.
Oh, this side too, huh?
Oh yeah.
Man, this thing got to shake down the road like crazy.
I mean, it probably hasn't driven in a long time, so who?
What is that, metal?
That's metal. Even in the big map. Yep. That wheel bearing is shot.
Oh, whoa. Tough guy here. Yep, and these ball joints definitely see better days. Buddy, and that's a stubby on number 3. Not a try with half-inch. Oh my God. That was tight, man. All right, so we got the axles out of the way. Next up, I think we're gonna attack the cross member here. JC, what do you say?
It needs a lot of work. A lot of work and a lot of love.
And as expected, the front engine mount is busted. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and work on our A pipe here. We're gonna disconnect our oxygen sensor. Well, you got some longer bolts there. Got some missing bolts. good with everything here. All right, so just like that, we all finished up at the bottom. We're gonna lower the car down and start working on the top.
All right, now we're back up on top here, and JC's already trying to start ripping this thing apart. I mean, I think he wants to get this motor out already. But we're gonna take the intake out, the battery, we'll take the radiator, hoses, all that stuff, and just try to get everything down to kind of the bare minimum. Make it easier for us to just drop out. Gotta get the power steering hose off of there. I disconnected some of the connectors that were on the bottom, so pretty much after that, throttle cable, our shifter cable, and the engine harness that's plugged into the ECU, and I think we should be able to just drop it right down.
Well, that one was easy. So we got the intake and the battery out of the way. Next up, we're gonna work on our radiator and the fan as an assembly. We'll go ahead and pull the entire thing out so we get more space, getting the motor out of the engine bay here.
Let's get this completely. I like your nothing in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I took it off because I knew I was gonna replace the
Oh, you got contamination, didn't you?
contamination.
Yeah.
The back compressor.
So should we attach the Frio machine to
No.
get a Frio?
There's nothing in there.
All right, so I think now we got everything out in the front end here. I think maybe we should remove the cruise control, the throttle cable, maybe the clutch line and all of that good stuff, then the AC line. Then maybe perhaps we can start working on this side here, which is the power steering system, and then the engine harness.
Coming from the transmission.
Yeah, I know, it's gonna come up.
Oh my goodness. TJ, you're making a mess here.
I like to think JC's making a mess because it's JC's car.
We're gonna go ahead and disconnect our engine harness over here. And here we'll be working on our shift cable here. We're gonna unbolt that, and we're gonna go ahead and detach that from a transmission case. All right, so the clutch slave cylinder. It came apart.
Maybe that's why your clutch wasn't working right.
Piece. Oh, right here.
Oh my god.
Get this out. Yeah, pull that from the back. Yeah, we'll swing it out. here. We got the pressure lines on top. We got a ground cable here. And I think it's just ready to go. Yeah, it's gonna bring her down.
Hold on. All right. We need to get a block. All right, come down.
She's ready to come out. Let's do this. All right, so we got both mounts loosened up, and we got the motor and the transmission and a dolly and a 2x4 there. All right, JC,
So go up.
let's go ahead and go up. Easy,
Buddy,
easy,
hold on.
easy, easy,
Easy.
buddy. All right, so here is the engine bay without the engine and transmission. And TJ, I know you're not looking forward to it, but JC wanted to paint the engine bay. What do you say?
I say he can go ahead and paint it.
Are you up for it, JC?
As long as I have a mechanic to take it apart.
Buddy, we have a lot of work ahead of ourselves here. Take a look at all of this stuff we're gonna have to remove. Are we just gonna mask around it, or are we actually go to remove everything and paint the bay?
He's
Haven't
gonna mask.
decided
He's gonna mask.
Haven't
Massive.
decided yet.
Haven't decided yet. All right, I guess you're gonna have a conversation with Paint Society and figure out what is gonna be our next step here in the engine bay. Now over here we have our engine and transmission. We got that on the dolly, nice and clean. Looking
think-
really, really nice here.
I think we should mask it off.
I think
Are you guys still having a conversation there?
Yeah, I think we should mask it off.
Mask it off it is.
Yes, this is the super budget build. Plus the car's been underwater,
Oh my god.
rebuilt title, salvage title stuff.
That's not true.
Is that a rebuild title?
Nope.
You sure?
Yeah, 100%. I got the title in the car.
Kind of looks like a salvage title to me.
Well, you can have a title, but it can still
Well,
be a salvage
it's not
title.
salvaged. I'm the second owner. Second owner of this car. Let's cut the camera.
JC, you sure this is not a salvage title?
I have the new ones in the body shop.
Guys, we made tremendous progress on our 2001 Honda Prelude project here. We got the H22 swap here, and we're gonna wrap up today's video. On the next video, we're gonna get our replacement engine on the engine stand and do a complete refresh. So you don't wanna miss. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like what you see, give us a like, and share this video with your friends and family. Aside from that, see you guys next week.